This morning I'm working on my personal car. It's a 2011 Volkswagen GTI. I noticed when I backed out of the garage a couple mornings ago that there was a little oil spot underneath the car. Lifted it up, checked all the normal, spots that they would leak. Rear main seal looked fairly dry. Oil pan's all wet with oil. So it's kind of an unusual leak I have going here. It's the oil cooler. The oil cooler gasket is leaking. It's hard to see, but from the bottom you can see, if you look up next to the throttle boot, and the radiator hoses here where they plug into the water pump, kind of behind them, you can see way up there the bottom of the oil cooler is all wet. This is very rare. I think I've only done this job maybe once or twice, and it's just everything is wet under here. From that, there's a drip. So you have to pull the obviously this throttle boot out of the way, and the water pump, and the throttle itself. A lot of things have to come off. Basically it's a water pump job, and then you have access to the cooler. So I'm going to show you when I'm in there what exactly was leaking, and yeah, that's it. I'm going to just start getting the water pump out of here first. So that's what I'm doing now. Alright, now that I have the water pump out of the way, you can see the oil cooler right there. The water pump, slides right into it. And there's just 4 mounting bolts, these triple squares, and then you can get this oil cooler right out of here. You can see how it's wet with motor oil where it seals up against the block in there. So I have to get this out and replace the gasket. So I'm going to undo those 4 screws, put it on the bench, and start cleaning it. Alright, there it is with the oil cooler removed. Just the 4 screws. The one of them in the back is a little bit hard to get to, but I pulled the gasket out and kind of made sure that the little groove was as clean as I could get it. There's where my water pump goes. There's the cooler. Here's what the cooler looks like. This one has a little bit of pitting where the coolant passage is right here. You can see on the sealing edge it has a little bit of pitting, and also where the water pump plugs in, there's a little bit of corrosion here where the O-ring rides. So the right thing to do if this was a customer car right now would just put a new oil cooler on it. I'm gonna roll the dice a little bit here and just clean this real well, and put the O-ring on and see if it seals up. I wasn't leaking any coolant on this car previously, so I think a new healthy seal will probably be able to seal this off. Being that it's my own car, I can kind of try things. But yeah, if you pull this off, I would recommend changing this cooler. Here's what the gasket looks like. Looks a lot like a BMW oil filter housing gasket. Same material, just kind of gets hard and shrinks up over time. It's kind of, after looking at this, it's surprising that these don't leak more than they do, but yeah, of course, on my car. So I'm just going to clean everything up, put a new seal on it, and stick it all back together. So just something to look for on these, another thing to look for. Thanks.